statements that Jesus allegedly made.
Could be any reason ranging from that might be taught later in Luke's Christology, specifically in like early church theology, or it could simply be that it may not be what he wants to include specifically for his historical thesis.
Why would you not want to include his extraordinary statements?
Specific what extraordinary statements? Because he may want to show the historical. Because he may. I don't think the term omission. Again, the term because I think again the term omission is being used very. I think the term omission is being used equivocally here. Again, by omission we just mean he didn't say them. So if that's all you mean,
I'm wondering why none of the other Gospels, not just Luke, by the way, Matthew and Mark,
that means literally
to recount any of the most amazing public statements that Jesus allegedly made contained in the fourth Gospel. I'm trying to find a sufficient historical reason.
A sufficient historical reason
apparently knows about these statements.
I don't think that. I think either the Johannine community could have known about them, well, not could have, but they probably did know about them because it was sent to that community. Other Christian communities may have done that further on in Christian history because they may have not wanted to misunderstand what the Johannine corpus was saying by the terms bread of life and other extraordinary statements, as we see other people literally
but
do.
Luke said he'd written an orderly account of all the things that had happened.
It doesn't say all the things.
What does he say? Should we read it? What does he say?
It just says an orderly account of the things that have been delivered. It doesn't say everything.
Right. So you think he actually omitted to include these extraordinary
I don't think again like the term omission is being used properly here. I just think that he didn't talk about them because he doesn't see them
as much as many have undertaken to compile a narrative of things that happened among us.
Yeah.
Just as those.
I think it say all.
It seemed good to me also, following all things closely for some time past.
So he
to
says
write
that
an orderly account for you, Theophilus, that you may have. So he's followed all the things most closely. He knows about all these.
So that means that he's followed them. But the reason why he writes, as he says before, is that.
The I am statement?
So he says here again, if you allowed me to speak, he says that you may have certainty specifically concerning the things that you have been taught. Meaning that it may have been that Theophilus specifically was in his catechesis stage, so he may have been catechized, and thus I am statements and things of the like will be followed on later points of exegetical work or later points of theological instruction.
And what about Mark?
I don't think it's the beginning.
Why did Mark omit these statements as well? The scholars, historians, what they think about this.
So biblical scholars
if I can just finish what I'm saying.
I think rattling off the opinion of a scholar doesn't necessarily
in the last 150 years have concluded that the differences that we've been discussing between the Synoptics and John is because John represents a highly developed interpretive tradition. That these statements put on the lips of Jesus are secondary. They're not historical.
Do we have anything
that
in like
is the consensus of all the historians, including those.
I don't think. Yes, I know that there have been scholars in the past from Oxford, but I don't think that they're.
John Barton, for example.
Yeah, I don't.
Go along the list of people.
Sure, but I don't think that the argument for high or low Christology is warranted, at least in the way that I've been taught in the university. So, for example, like people like Christine Joines and other individuals have basically come out saying, look, man, this argument for like high or low Christology, not only is it subjective, it's not necessarily helpful to understand the Christology.
No, I'm talking about the historicity of John. So
yes, with a high. Yes, but I'm talking about the high notion of Christology in different Gospels.
I'm talking about the Gospel of John and the I am.
Okay, how do you measure? Okay, this is specifically because you're measuring a high Christology difference.
Christopher Tuckett, professor of New Testament studies at Oxford.
Sure, and that's fine. And I also recommend that you read. I recommend that you read some other papers that have gone on the recent history of what a high Christology basically means. The point is this, right? To argue that they highly exalted is to presuppose that he wasn't exalted in the first place. To argue that he was highly exalted presupposes that he wasn't exalted in the first place.
In the earliest Jewish tradition.
In the earliest Jews, that argues that there's a tradition in the beginning.
Sorry?
That there's a tradition that is distinct from Johannine tradition that doesn't have any linking or bearing to it. Are we going?
No, go ahead. I want to catch his voice.
That there is a distinction between the traditions. So, for example, in more recent New Testament scholarship, I don't even know why that's coming to.
Let me hold.
Nazem, can you hold those as well?
So the reason why there seems to be a distinction,
my question is, why do top Christian scholars like Christopher Tuckett?
How are you defining
hang on a second.
Just because they're published.
Will you let me finish a second?
No. Let's define what talk is. We do need to talk about that.
Will you let me finish? You're not letting me talk.
You're saying a lot of things that we need to go through. You're saying that he's a top scholar. I will allow you to speak. I think it's fair that you should speak. But when you say that they are top scholars, do you mean that they're the most researched, or they're the most correct about their opinion, or that they've written the most?
If you let me finish, I was going to explain.
Please explain what you mean by top scholars.
Right. Will you let me finish speak in my own words?
What do you mean by top scholars?
What do you mean by top scholars?
Will you let me speak in my own words now?
About what you mean by top scholars, which was your word. Yeah. I'm not misrepresenting you. I'm asking you.
Will you let me speak? I'm going to.
What you mean by top scholars?
I will in a second, but I want to.
us, so we understand.
That's a separate point, and I'll make that maybe
That's
in a
not a
minute.
separate
It's
point.
my-
You included it.
Okay.
It is my...
said it.
You see, you're not letting me speak. Will you let me speak?
I will
the
let
top
you
scholars.
speak if you can actually, break down for me what
No,
top
but you
scholar
see,
means.
I don't want to make your point. I want to make my point. Will you allow me to speak?
Your point was that they were top scholars.
Will you let me finish?
If you explain what top
No,
scholars
not
is.
if. Will you let me finish? Will you let me speak full
Yes,
stop?
scholars, yes.
provided that you explain what top
No,
scholars mean.
I'm not going to play by your rules.
It's not my
I'm going to
rule.
play my
I just
rules.
need
You're
the
telling me what
answer
I
to
must
the
say.
question.
Well, I will come to that. I'll come to your question in a minute. In the meantime,
Which
I'm
is
going to address
regarding your
my
statement.
point. Now, if you let me finish and not interrupt, will you allow me to speak and not interrupt?
If you explain what top
No,
scholar
not
means,
if. Will you allow me
it's
just to
something
speak?
that is relevant.
Oh, I'm just
because
going to walk away otherwise. If you're not going to allow me to
Explain
speak.
what you mean by top
it's
scholars,
not really that.
please.
It's not that serious. Again,
Now, as I'm going to say,
explain what that means.
my
then we're
question
able
to you
explain
is,
what that means.
I will in a minute, but you might not interrupt me.
I'll just ask you the same question. Just please
Top
explain
scholars.
what top scholar means, man.
Yeah.
Like we were
It's
having a
only
nice
fair.
conversation. It's only fair that you
It's only
explain
fair,
it.
yes.
No, look, if you're going to use top scholar, then there must be a reason why you said that. It's not just a
I would
throwaway
love to
meaningless
explain, but you won't let me.
Yeah,
You won't
interrupting.
okay, so
You keep on interrupting.
I'm interrupting you whilst you are about to explain specifically what top scholar means, right?
Explain to us what you mean by top scholars, please.
Yeah, well, what
so
do you
so we
mean?
can understand.
I've said I would agree to you after I've made what I want to say first. But you won't allow that.
I think you're trying to praise these individuals that also.
Anyway,
have
I'm just
other
going to speak to
conflicting
Nazam.
opinions.
If you want to listen, my point is this.
So
that,
you're not speaking to me, right?
The top Christian, yes, I am.
So
as
you're
well.
you said you're
Both
going to
of you.
speak to him or speak to me. I'm confused
Would
about
you-
what you're saying with him
well,
over here.
just be quiet for a
He's
second
just
and let
holding
me
the
speak.
microphone. That's
All
all
right.
he's doing.
Well, I'm speaking to the microphone.
So you're speaking to them. Are you speaking to me?
I'm speaking to everyone.
Who is everyone here? It's just
You want me to
one,
get
two,
names
three,
and
four.
addresses, do you? Names, addresses?
No, I
Who
want
are
you
your
to
top
point.
scholars?
I just want you to
Stop
point.
running away from that. Who are your top scholars? Explain to us, please.
Just what does the term mean? Look, I don't really refer to people as top of what is
Nazam,
top
as I was
or
saying,
bottom. Like
the
Nizam, for
question-
example, like,
excuse
you know,
me,
like,
Nazam, I'm talking to him. Will you,
so am I. So basically, when we
Anyway,
refer to
it's
top
been a great
scholars,
talking to you. I was
Yeah,
going
of
to say,
course, man.
all your top scholars do not
Okay,
think.
what do you mean by top
do not
scholar?
think.
What do you mean by top
Christopher
scholar?
Tuckett.
Which?
Okay, what do you mean by
He's a
top
professor
scholar?
at Oxford.
Great. What do you mean
Another
by top
one.
scholar?
Being a professor of
What do you
New
mean by
Testament.
top scholar?
Let me reply.
You haven't explained
Will you
yet.
let me speak?
About
Explain.
top
Don't
scholar.
let-
Yes.
What
yes.
does the term
will you
mean?
Yes. Will you let me finish?
Yes.
Thank
If you explain what the term
I'm
means.
trying to now. Will you let me speak?
So you're gonna say top scholar means X, right?
I
That's what
might
you
do.
mean by
I
that?
might do.
Oh, you might.
Oh, you
not that
might.
will.
Do you want to expand on what you're
Will
trying
you
to
do
say?
that? Yeah, I'll
on
expand.
this.
So I have an issue in regarding certain predicates that you want to use to nominate these individuals as higher than other scholars. It presupposes the standard that there are better scholars
let
than
me
others
explain.
according
Let me
to certain
explain.
opinions.
Shall I
So
explain?
now that I have explained to you, please tell me what the term top scholar means.
I'm trying to, but will you
Yeah.
let me speak?
Go ahead.
Okay, what does it mean?
Anyone else objection?
What does it mean?
You're happy to make right. By top scholar, I mean, for example, professors of New Testament studies at the University of Oxford.
That's
For
not a
example,
definition, that's an
Christopher.
example.
Excuse me, you're
That's not a definition. That's an example.
Will you let me
Give me
finish?
example.
Will you let me finish?
I said a
Christopher
definition.
Tuckett.
I
Will you let me
mean,
finish?
Give us a definition.
You're not letting me
not
finish.
examples.
I'm not letting
I-
you finish with something that you haven't given.
Right.
It's like
Christopher
saying
Tuckett
that
is
never
one,
let me finish
John
with a
Barton is
definition.
another. These please are highly regarded in the world of academia because
Okay,
of
so they
their,
are
of their published
respected in
works.
Western
Because of their
academia.
published works,
Okay.
because they are highly they're peer reviewed by their colleagues at other universities and recognised to be
They're peer-reviewed by
world class
certain
authorities. So
No, they're not authorities. We don't have authorities
my
in that
question
sense.
then is,
We have individuals that have
why do
academic
all of
opinions
these
because
scholars
they studied them.
view John
So
as not
this is a
historical?
misunderstanding of what scholarship is.
So I do thank
Nazam,
you for your time. So
that's
it's been
fine. Wait, hold
an
on. You have a
absolute pleasure.
you have a misapprehension
Nazam,
of
thank
what
you
the
very
term
much.
scholarship
And
means.
because I
Right.
feel I can
You
talk
think
openly,
that when a
I'm now
person is a
gonna
top
move
scholar,
over
just
there.
because they
Nazam,
research
can
the
you join
most.
me? Bye-bye.
Anyway, an authority is simply.
Thank you,
Oh,
Paul.
he just went away.
Thank you, Paul.
There was no point in doing that. If you're going to say someone's a top scholar, even though scholars themselves wouldn't consider themselves top, they would only consider themselves that they were well researched. There's no top or bottom because, again, in Western scholarship and Christianity, there aren't necessarily authorities as there are informed academic opinions. Of course, Nazam, take a very good care of yourself and have a lovely day. Anyway,
Paul,
so.
thank you. Thank you for trying, to be honest.
I mean, you tried, but anyways, look.
Okay.
Point is this: we don't have top scholars, okay? To those at Oxford University, of course, you guys are a well-established theological institution. I've researched a lot. Yes, I get it. However, here is the point at hand. Even you guys wouldn't consider yourself better than other scholars. I mean, A, that's just prideful. And B, that's a disservice to the research these other scholars did as well. There isn't a better or worse. There are just more well-informed opinions and less well-informed opinions, okay? And some scholars quibble over that in the research. That's why they're paid to do it. Anyways, if you ever want to do this thing again, I would love to reach out to you Oxford scholars again. So yeah, take care. See ya.
Any messages to Muslims who are not only financing Paul Williams' ministry, but also believing in his rhetoric?
If you only listen to an echo chamber of individuals that have like this weird view of just presupposing modern scholarship, you can either presuppose that their opinion is correct or look into how they created the opinion. I think the modern scholars would want you to look into their opinion, actually test it.